We're back with the discovery of your Venus animal spirit. Now, I did a video on this last year, and ever since last year, I have been testing this formula out because what consistently shows up is that the person matched with their Venus spirit animal usually looks like the animal itself, or they can dress in the aesthetic of it, right? By hints of colors and angles. And they just stand out. So, this is a very unique discovery of your Venus spirit animal, combining your Venus in your natal chart with the Gene Keys system. Now, the Gene Keys system has its own profile, and they have a separate Venus attraction profile. This is not that. This is taking specifically your Venus and putting it into the Gene Keys system. So if you want to learn how to do that, you can check part 1. Or I now have a website where you can have me do it for you in the Venus blueprint. But what also comes with this is a breakdown of everything when it comes to standing out on your own. So I wanted to go through also a few of the celebrities that I have found over the past year since discovering this. And it's given me so much insight on how we can build up an inner validation to our beauty and self-esteem, because this really shows you how different we are. But then you can also dress like that aesthetic when the time is right. And I'll explain to you what that means. So going through some of the people that we have here, I actually did Carrie Hilson. She is not like new, right? But she had been in the news when I had looked her up, and her Venus spirit animal is the fox. And I find that in certain aesthetics of her look, her eyes literally, really naturally look like a fox, but when she does specific makeup, it really brings it out. Certain things with her hair, like specifically the short hair, with like the blonde streaks, also was giving that more so than like the darker hair. So it's not that you can't wear different styles, but you'll see that when you can pull from your spirit animal for an ability to stand out on your own. And I think that this really helps women to not feel like they have to look like each other all the time, and to see how you are a piece to the puzzle. Like all of the animals in the world, right? They don't have to compare themselves. They don't think like that. They don't operate like that. When you connect yourself to the animal kingdom in this way, you might be able to get a bit of that magic in being able to stand on your own. Victoria Monet, actually, Venus in Aries, she is a giraffe. And in her findings, she actually isn't as bedazzled as other Venuses. And when she wears like long hair and multicolors her hair, I think she really showcases that. I think the natural features that are different with Victoria Monet versus who we just saw, Carrie Hilson, right, is very much so giving from the spirit animal, because Carrie Hilson had the eyes be her natural draw in. But Victoria Monet, it's actually the lower part of her face, even though she's a Venus in Aries and her eyes are meant to be bold no matter what. But it's really the shape of her nose to her mouth ratio that I think is really quite sexy and sensual. And it actually makes sense with the Venus animal spirit, where the giraffe is actually, the eyes are in the back, and then the nose and the mouth kind of protrude out. When I find Victoria Monet's side profiles, I'm flabbergasted. Like it really, really looks really cool. So, I mentioned Rihanna already, but I've studied her a bunch this year, and you're going to see her makeup profile also. So this is what you can do if you want to do this on your own, is look up makeup profiles on Pinterest that might hint to the animal spirit. So hers is a male deer. And there's other things with Rihanna where the natural, it's absolutely the eyes. And again, like Victoria Monet, Rihanna is a Venus in Aries, but you see that there's a different emphasis on the face, right? So her eyes are definitely stronger, or more dominant, I would say. So the next artist that I've been studying is Normani, and she is the wolf. And this one is really cool to me because with Normani, I also really feel the frequency, the energy emanate off of her, right? So there may not necessarily be an exact replica of the animal, right? It's more about ideas and metaphors and frequency that you're interpreting. And I really do feel, though, with this hairstyle specifically, it kind of gives that vibe. But let's say that she went with a more spikier hairstyle, I think she could also give the vibe. So like I'm saying, it's not just one thing. It's kind of like an amalgamation of everything. So play with your spirit animal. The next person that we have is Iniko. And I couldn't even believe that I found her info, but I was able to find it. And her spirit animal is the hedgehog. And you know what? Again, frequency wise, because many people can wear, this white hair look, and a lot of people have been, but there's something very like small in her features. Like her features feel very small. I also showed you the animal key, life key in this photo. So when you go and look up your animal spirit, right, you're going to see 3 different animals. You're going to see the fear frequency, the gift, which is the actual animal spirit that I abide by, and then the bird. So her bird is a dove. So I put this here because I felt like she's like really in this frequency, and it was clear to me when I was studying her chart. Megan Thee Stallion is a rhinoceros. Again, very similar to Victoria Monet, where of course the eyes are dominant and she does these beautiful colors on her eyes, but just in her natural facial features, it is more of like the lower half of her face that becomes more bold, sexier, more sensual to her own unique beauty, is what I found. Okay, this is actually, this is Ebony K. Williams when the whole thing between her and Iyanla went down. And I wasn't trying to be funny, but this might have bothered some people. But this one is a monkey. So, and this one actually, I think, shows agility, but I really wasn't able to pull too much from this one. Basically, there was a lot of negative frequency when I was studying her chart, so I didn't go too deep in that one. And then finally, the queen of the Kardashians, right? She is a badger, and as you can see, there's elements to this, like with her hair being kind of like spiky and short, that I think actually pulls from this. And I think if she went even more with she doesn't really, you don't really need to go more. It's more of an energy, but there are hints to this. So like her in a black and white pinstriped outfit might be something I might pull from this to take it to that next level. So this is a fun way to connect to your own beauty, right? And it also helps you to not feel like you need to be like everybody else, from my experience. But what's really cool is that, let's say you have another planet besides Venus. You may have other planets, right, that you want to dress like. So basically, if you had, for example, Mars in Aries, Neptune in Aries, right, you're going to dress like a Venus in Aries, but it will emanate the planet's work. So Mars in Aries, if you dress like a Venus in Aries, right? If you use the Venus in Aries profile, or you dress like Victoria Monet, for example, right? And because you have a Mars in Aries, then you're going to emanate even more sexiness, more physical vitality, right? Because Venus is your beauty, irresistibility, Mars is primal sex energy. Let's say you have Saturn in Aries, right? If you dress according to the Venus profile and you have Saturn there, then you can also pull from this same idea. But it will emanate more respect from you. So you'll be cultivating more recognition, more respect, more entitlement, titles, because it's Saturn. It's your Saturn there, but you're dressing according to that placement. So the dressing itself is Venus, but you can use any planet and where they are to also evoke other aspects of what you want to portray. So this is not a strict regimen. It is a playful and new creative way to add to what you're already doing and help enhance you and bring up your self-esteem, bring up your inner validation, and also just have fun with these elements. So again, if you guys would like to get your full profile, my website is finally up. I'm very excited. I'm not on Etsy anymore. So you can check out all things girly magic, but I have the link directly to the Venus profile readings down below. See you in the next video.